And this is part 3.
Bad times, I don't want to have bad.
You mentioned Jelly Roll.
Mm-hmm.
You guys just played with him.
Yeah, at the Rose Bowl.
How was it?
Once again, my man is,
Are you guys
making
tight?
sure
I love
making
Jelly
sure
Roll.
everybody is taken care of.
Yeah.
He is the greatest. He is one of the most fascinating, wonderful people. He is a gift to this planet.
Yeah, he is. I fucking love
He's
him,
a good
man.
friend of mine.
I don't know him at all.
He's amazing.
My brother met him, but I always talk about how much I love Jelly Roll because I like what I see. Old friend of mine, Jack, his guitar player, old friend of mine.
Yeah.
He was in Sleeping with Sirens, and like we've known each other a long time. So I know the people he's around, and I just know like how he rolls. So I already know I like him. And I've obviously only heard good things, but we've never hung out. But I fucking am such a huge fan because I just like how he is in the world.
Yeah, I mean, I think that he has a lot of different superpowers.
Right.
That he's been training for this moment, for the world to know, who Jason D. Ford is.
Yeah.
And he's just one of the most remarkable people I know, but it's all real. It's all authentic. There are some people that kind of feel like this happened overnight. And I'm like, no, it didn't, man.
Yeah, I can tell.
This is a long,
he's been on a long road,
man. And he's ready for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But his success could not be happening to I can say this about him, to a more deserving individual.
That's nice.
Dude, he is you know what he is, man? He is necessary.
Yeah.
He's great.
Yeah.
One of a
he is
kind.
necessary. To me, like, it's funny because he's to me, he's just like this rock and roll guy who has, I know he's told some of his stories, but there's so many more, I'm sure. Like the depth of that guy, and what he's lived through,
and his relationship with his wife, and
Yeah.
his kids, and all of it, and how he, has gone into, really trying to reform the way that people that are incarcerated are looked at, and getting a second chance, because he has that past, and what have you. But like, there's a broader reach, and he's doing it all through music, and how
did you guys meet?
We met at Blue Ridge, at the Blue Ridge Festival back in 2021. And I knew of him because I was probably one of the first people, like in that first 50,000 views of the song Save Me.
Yeah.
I just watched this guy, open his mouth and this voice came. I was like, what in the world? And was really compelled by that. And so he was playing same day we were in 2021 on Blue Ridge Festival. He played in the afternoon, and then I met him. I said, come up and we do a version of Leonard Skinner's Simple Man. And I was like, come up and do Simple Man with us. And he was like, really? I'm like, yeah. So, so we got everything locked in and what have you. And man, he came on stage and there was just this thing about him.
Yeah, he's got charisma.
Yeah. And like, as soon as we did that, as we followed into 2022, I went to my team and the label and our booking agents and whatever. We knew that we were going to be doing a tour in amphitheaters that year, late June, July, August, like during the season and what have you. And I basically just said to everybody, I go, we're going to bring, I had Jelly's number. I called him and was like, I'd really like you to be main support for this tour. And he accepted. And when I told everybody like what we were going to do and who we were going to do it with, at the time, everybody was kind of like, who? And I think some people didn't necessarily understand it, but I saw something in it, and the whole band did. Myself, Barry, Eric, and Zach, we could all just see it.
Artists see the future.
Yeah, and
you got the intuition.
Yeah, but it was a thing where it was like, we better ask him to do this now because we ain't gonna be able to ask him in a minute. And so I just saw him climb into that rocket ship.
Yeah.
And rest is history. And he came out and we had the most fun on that tour. And he would sing Simple Man with me and Zach every night on stage. We'd have like our little, the guys would do kind of like a little banter of songs and this and that. I'd go off to the side. We'd have like our moments on the side of the stage. We'd talk about things. He'd ask me questions. I'd ask him questions about things, what have you. We just stayed in contact, and just watching his rise has been an absolute pleasure because I was always just, I was a fan of who he was. But of the 2 decades plus that I've been in this industry, I can only really tell you that he was the first where I was like, kind of saw it early on, like, man, this guy's going to change the world for the better.
And it couldn't happen to a better guy.
Could not happen to a better person.
Yeah, that's nice.
He's one of a kind.
Yeah, he's one of a kind. That's great. I love that. That makes me happy.
And now my next dream is to do an international tour with Good Charlotte. So whenever you want to call and let us rock and roll, man,
dude,
I'm ready.
Let's do Australia.
Like, let's go. Let's go.
I'm serious.
Let's go.
I'll tell the guys, like, hey, what are we doing?
With
Let's figure it
bells
out.
on, dude. We will like let's go.
That'd be great.
That'd be the
think,
best.
At least Australia would be great. Because I know we could do it. I know we could go sell some arenas out and have a really fun time. And like,
my bags are
the
packed.
shows are really great. And I think you guys probably do really well in Australia.
Well, honestly, man, with that, like, you know, we have this base that we know of honestly, in like a lot of different countries, but
No
like
doubt.
Australia specifically, like what we're being told is like, just come here.
Yeah.
Like we're ready, but like
you will not have a bad time.
we would just really want to do it with some people that we want to have some fun with.
All right.
Plus the universe is real, man. I popped in here today. Thank you for having me on
Thanks
your
for
show.
coming.
Yeah.
This means a lot to me.
No, it means a lot to me too. I'm a massive fan. Like
Thank
I
you.
literally, I did pretty good. I kept my composure for the most part. I'm kind of
great. This is like, by the way, it was very long. I appreciate it. But like,
hopefully it wasn't boring.
no, so for me, it just, any time that somebody takes the time to bring their story, but also like your fucking band is important and what you've done is important. And you have,
Oh my God, thank you.
you have better things to do than go anywhere and talk to anyone unless you care about what you're talking about and they care about what you have to say. And most of the time when you're out in the world trying to connect with your fans and you're trying to connect with music fans, you have to jump through a lot of weird hoops that don't feel authentic, that don't feel like the person on the other side gives a fuck about what you're saying.
Right.
And respects what you had to fucking do to get here. And then that you're actually here on your own time to share your audience as well.
Oh my God, when they told me that I had an opportunity to come here and talk to you, I lost my mind.
Man, I was so excited because, but also like the validation that we give each other is important. But more importantly, the validation that your fans give everyone, that you decide whatever stage you're on, whatever interview you do, you're bringing your fans and you're validating that as a source for them to trust. And where we get lost in like media and content is that there's not a respect for the fan. These platforms that have artists come on and do the interviews, whatever, they act like they're blessing the artist. That's not true. The artist is blessing them because the artist fan is the #1 best fucking customer.
Yeah.
We see it. The #1 person that you want interacting with anything is a musician or artist, music artist. They're fans.
But I'll say this though too, and you know, to have a very broad peripheral of music with a lot of different styles and what have you, I've always said this: rock and roll isn't just a genre of music. Rock and roll is a way of life. Like I love the fact that like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the year that NWA got inducted, there were all these question marks about that. And Ice Cube got up there and was like, man, rock and roll is a spirit. It's, you know, it's a connection more than anything. And so when I think about it, like the type of music that we do, and there's always a broad approach to it, you know, I've said it before, like, I don't think there'll ever be anything that takes the place of drums, bass, guitar, badass vocals, and a killer song.
And a live fucking hearing it live.
Right.
Like,
but in that world, the audiences, like that rock and roll community is, you talk about inclusive. They're like anyone from anywhere at any time is welcomed whenever and everywhere. Like that whole community is like, come into this and let's celebrate and have a great time. There's not this, because sometimes it happens in media, like there's an idea in rock media where it can be a little cold and very to the, like, you're trying to figure out, just take it down a little bit, okay? Like it's supposed to be, we're supposed to support each other and you can have big criticism and all that.
Sure.
But the audience, like metal festivals, rock festivals are some of the most incredible experiences in the world. And when people that have never gone to them go to them for the first time, they're like, I'm doing this every weekend now. Like, this was the greatest thing ever. Because people come in, they walk in, and then they float out.
And that is actually like what my experience has been the last, 10, 15 years. And I would say country music's a lot like that too.
Yeah.
It's like a rock and roll show. And you go and you don't feel like, I don't have to think about what I'm wearing. I don't have to think about anything but being there and listening to a band or seeing, like, I feel welcome. It's a big mixed up crowd of everything.
Yeah.
You go online and you see these political conversations happening where everyone's so divided. Go to a rock and roll show, go to a country show and hang out and experience music with other people and realize that it's all kind of bullshit and no one actually cares about anything other than like being together.
Yeah.
And if someone fell down, they'd help them up. If somebody, like, people being together is actually what music, and especially rock music and rock and roll as a greater genre of all the genre, you could divide it up a bunch of different ways, but the live music, rock music, like, go to those festivals, go to those concerts, and you'll see how you're treated. And it's the happiest place. And it does feel like you can be yourself. And
it's
better
than Disneyland.
Absolutely. And it does feel like it's all about like the people who go to those shows. And someone is going to a Shinedown show or an Avenged Sevenfold show or a Good Charlotte show or a Bad Omen show, or a Falling in Reverse show. They're going to...
Or Jelly Roll show.
Or Jelly Roll. They're likely going to a bunch of the same festivals and shows, and we're likely... all these circles all cross each other somewhere. And so I do think that bands and the culture, like, and I do think, like you said earlier, it's going there to be friendly, to be supportive, to be... cool with each other,
encouraging each other, man. Like, really, really genuinely be happy for someone's success.
And I think it's happening. Like, I thought that the thing, did you see the thing at the Grammys where they thought that Courtney was Poppy?
Dude, I know her very well. And like when she did that just elevated her to another level.
But it was good for everyone.
Yeah.
Like, Poppy loves her.
Yeah.
Everyone has respect for each other.
Yeah.
So there wasn't any contention.
Yeah.
It was just a funny moment. It was like an inside joke for metal fans and rock fans that like knew that the interviewer just didn't know a lot about rock music and heavy music. And the interviewer made a mistake.
Yeah.
But
she didn't like...
She wasn't mean.
She wasn't mean.
She was like lovely.
She like just rolled with it.
She was lovely.
Yeah.
And like it was...
She's a beast, by the way.
She's a beast. And it just shows you where rock music is today. Like, it does feel like there is a bit of a community happening. I didn't feel an ounce of competitiveness in that moment from anyone.
Yeah.
It felt like everyone just was smiling big and laughing because it was just like... one of the biggest moments at the Grammys actually was that. And so I thought that was like a real tell of like where the culture is now.
It's interesting that you bring up the Grammys because I watched it all this year. And, there was one thing that I thought to myself, and I've met Harvey, the president of the Grammys a couple of times. We did quite a few things last year for the Grammys. One thing at the Grammy Museum, me and Zach, we did Stairway to Heaven for a celebration for Atlantic Records, and then the Grammys hosted me and Zach to kind of do a behind the song type event with us and what have you. But I noticed it this year too, and it's something that I've thought more and more about over the last couple of years. Like, I woke up and looked at the news media the next day that was not just rock publication making a comment about, like, once again the Grammys don't show or televise the hard rock category or the heavy metal. And it's funny because I started to think about that, and I'm like, and Harvey right before The Weeknd played, The Weeknd didn't play before because of the diversity and the lack thereof. And I understand why he was doing that. And he's an artist and he has a platform to, broaden that conversation.
Sure.
And then he played the Grammys.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I think that the committee should also really, really look at, and I've just got to say it, like, don't alienate a community of people and listeners that is massive.
Yeah,
rock
music.
Like, I can't remember the last time there was like a rock and roll performance at the Grammys. And I think it's time. I think it's time that the Grammys take an initiative to let rock and roll present itself again, because they look at ratings and they look at how many people watched and how many people are tuning in. It's like you would have so many more people watching the Grammys as well with all of these different categories. Now, you've only got so much time to televise everything, but man, again, rock and roll, it ain't just a genre, man. It's a way of life.
Yeah.
And I really hope that, in the future that they start to broadcast, a bit more rock and let artists come in there that, can throw down.
I agree. Yeah, I totally agree.
Like, I don't know why there's not an active rock Grammy.
I don't know why there's not a couple. I think there could be like 5 more rock categories. Yeah. Because there's so many genres and subgenres in rock. Like,
even Sierra Farrell, who is like, she's just wild and interesting and unique between the country and the bluegrass and everything else. Like, I didn't even realize she was up for nominations. I got up, looked at, she's holding 4 Grammys, but none of it was televised. And I was like, that's freaking nuts. But I know they've only got so much time and everybody looks at it on their phone. But yeah, I just think about, really looking at the broad scope, like rock and roll is just really, really important. There's a lot of ways to view it and there's a lot of ways to be introduced to it.
A bunch of people that are listening to this not only want to hear what we both think about this and that, but also like your tour.
Okay.
Tell me about the tour.
So yeah, the tour is 2 legs and it's called the Dance Kid Dance Tour. The first leg is we're bringing our friends in Beartooth out with us. And Caleb. Then another artist who I just think from a female side I just think she's on another level. Her name's Morgan Wade. And she's just outlaw country, but like in the truest sense, she's just a brilliant songwriter. And then the second leg of the tour, it's wild, man. Like, we're playing Madison Square Garden in the second leg for the first time ever as a headliner, playing the Kiev Forum, first time as a headliner.
Congrats.
Thank you. We're bringing our friends Gavin and Bush are coming out with us. And they've got, the cool thing about that is like they're celebrating the 30 years of 16 Stones and like the 20 years of Razor Blade Suitcase. They got a brand new record coming out too at the same kind of time frame. And then Morgan Wade's going to do the second half of that with us too. But it's, we're definitely pushing the envelope on the production on this. Awesome. And how we're doing, how we're going to do. We're just really, really stoked about it. Don't have a kind of exclusive just yet on like when the album's going to come out. But if I was a betting man, I would say August.
Okay.
I would, you heard it here first. So I don't have a date per se, but I'm hoping August. We have 2 brand new songs out right now that are working in multiple formats. One song called 365. The other track is called Dance Kid Dance. Yeah. No, but that's the only thing that we have a couple of festivals that we're doing too this year. But we're kind of like being strategic about certain things and how we kind of want to do what we want to do. Again, the international is a big deal for us looking into next year and how we want to kind of curate that. But there's a lot going on. We just want it to be it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality.
I feel that. Yeah. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
These days. Like,
and then also too, I'm going to wish upon a star every single night that Good Charlotte will take us out on tour with them to
Australia.
To Australia. I'm going to ask.
It's not a bad idea.
I may know somebody
it's a good
now
idea.
that I didn't know before. Yeah. To ask about that. So
it's a really good idea.
I'm just going to hope upon hope.
I mean, we're going to find out as soon as this airs. If it's a good idea, because promoters,
I think it's a good idea.
Promoters will fucking call.
Yeah.
Oh, he's like,
because I'm excited about the prospect.
Fans will be like, come to Argentina, and I'm like, tell the promoter to send us an offer.
We're going after all that. Like, we're trying to figure it out right now, like how to really, because again, man, you gotta look at, there's a financial aspect to it, but then again, sometimes it's like, just go. You just gotta go, man.
And I think that carries into like our shows, like. I just want people to come and feel important and feel like we put every dollar that we could into that show.
100%, man.
So, Brent, thanks for coming, man.
It was my absolute pleasure, bro.
It was awesome, bro.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to Artist Friendly. We really appreciate it. If you like the show, you can also follow us on Spotify. You can follow us on Instagram at artist.friendly. And you can watch us on YouTube and Veeps. Leave comments. I always read them. See you next time.